in the mirror. Man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. In this reaction video, I want to cover a subject that I think needs to be addressed. And that subject is overprotecting your daughters, overprotecting your children, just sheltering them to the extreme. And I want to show you the negative consequences of that, even though that sheltering may have come from a place of love from that parent. Okay. Before I do that, go ahead and hit the notification bell, select the option that says all once you do that. That way you'll be informed of all my new content. Let me put this lady on the screen so we can go ahead and dissect this issue. You know what I'm talking about? H-Town baby in the house. What y'all doing out there? Anyway, let's go ahead and get it.
Part of the DVD highlight situation I want to talk about is the over-sheltering of Black girls. A lot of Black girls are taught from a very early age to keep their head in a book and simply ignore their desires and cravings for intimacy and companionship. This may sound good on paper, but it is extremely detrimental.
I agree. See, this is what we have to understand if you are a parent, especially since greater than 60% of the Black family now is being headed by women, and the nuclear family is damn near completely destroyed, it seems like, in the Black community. When you tell a girl, a daughter that you're raising, to stay away from them boys, as you should tell them that, you have to also equip them with the information. You have to inform them as to why they must stay away from these boys. Now, when you tell these daughters not to be fast, not to dress in such a provocative way, get your head into them books, stop thinking about them boys, you must understand that these daughters of yours are still human beings. They have feelings, and they're going to have curiosities, and they're going to have lust. And since daughters are emotional, women are emotional, before they become adults in their adolescent years, you see them display how emotional they can be. You have to equip them with enough emotional regulation or enough skills to control their emotions to navigate through life. Because if you do not, then it will be easy for Pookie or any man of no class or a very manipulative man to come along and manipulate your daughter into having physical intimacy, doing things that she should not do at that age, because at her age, doing certain things would not be considered moral or appropriate. When you don't equip them with this type of information, gentlemen and women, they're going to want it more. When you tell these children to stop doing something or to avoid this or shelter them and tell them to stay away from these people, it makes them want to do it more. It increases the curiosity. Now, you cannot protect your children from the world. All you can do is prepare them for the world. And the thing we see in our community right now are a lot of young Black women raised in single parent households that are governed by women, not having a watchful eye over them, guiding them, teaching them, directing them, and explaining, most importantly, explaining why they should not do certain things. Yelling at them, saying things like, do what I say, not what I do, get your butt in the house, spanking them without helping them to understand why the spanking is occurring, or after the spanking ain't helping them grow mentally. I'm trying to help my community here, okay? Because our women today, in my opinion, the majority of them are a disgrace. The young Black men who are looking for wives in the Black community are not finding suitable women because these young girls are not being taught. They're not being educated. They're being misdirected by their peers in society, by influences of the media, social media, reality TV shows, and their examples are non-existent. Good examples are non-existent. Good role models are almost non-existent when it comes to our women, and it's because the women who are supposed to be elders are acting like children themselves. The older women are out there dressing just as provocative as the younger. The older elders, the women that are middle-aged and over, are acting just as whorish as the young women now. So they're not being educated. They're being sheltered. If there is a woman trying to keep them from these things, you need to have a father there to help equip them for the world.
These desires just do not disappear because somebody said so. These girls end up, but it is extremely detrimental. These desires just do not disappear because somebody said so. These girls end up blindly trying to find partners, trying to explore dating, and they have no idea what the fuck they are doing or who they are equally yoked to and who deserves their time. The black community has tried to shelter our girls to try to protect them, but this silence has only created more problems and issues within our community. I can attest as a 24-year-old black girl that I have never had a conversation with my family about period, sex, a man, standards, expectations for myself and for a man courting me, courting period, literally nothing. I have
And that is true. I've done many shows where older black women in their 30s who will tell you that their mothers never told them or taught them how to clean themselves properly. Didn't want to take the time to tell them how to use this or use that. These children, and it's not their fault, or the young boys either, they're supposed to be taught by the older generation, the previous generation that come before them, or the generation that's raising the new. Unfortunately, they're not receiving the things that they need to become functional adults in our society. Now, what she just said, she wasn't even taught on how to pick a man, how to have standards for herself and stuff like that. That tends to come from a man being in that household. So if you continuously sleeping with different random men, getting pregnant by them before requiring marriage, you are doing this to your daughters, lady. Think about it. Now, back to what she said about not being taught standards. The only time you hear people say standards now, when they're black women, is after they have made some of the worst decisions in their lives when it comes to dating men. Example, she'll have 2 or 3 baby daddies, 4 or 5 abortions along the way. Now, when a good man comes along, now she had standards. Now he has to make 6 figures. Now he has to be over 6 feet tall. Now he has to be this type of man. He got to be a superhero. He got to be able to do this and that. Now, previously, she had absolutely no standards whatsoever. So majority of the time, the majority of the women that we are seeing today, their standards come after trauma. After they go through the worst experiences known to mankind, now they want to go ahead and have standards. What it is that they've been hurt so badly by the poor decisions that they have made from their lack of discernment and wisdom. Those consequences and repercussions has skewed their outlook on relationships. And they're hard to get along with. They're not pleasant. They have entitlement. They have abandonment issues. They are entitled. I'm sorry, what I'm trying to say. They refuse to be submissive and feminine. This is because these women are being sheltered, but not taught. You can shelter a girl and think you're protecting him when a lot of times, a lot of these people who are sheltering their children ain't doing it for the children. It's because they want to avoid hard conversations with the children. They want to quote unquote shelter those children from the world because they find it uneasy to sit down to talk to their daughters about sex, to talk about lies, men and women lying to them. They don't want to talk to them about perversions. They don't want to talk to them about things that are immoral, but are widely accepted within America. because it makes them uncomfortable. So in all actuality, in some cases, the parent is not sheltering the daughter. The parent is sheltering him or herself.
I've had to figure it out my own self for myself and for a man courting me, courting period, literally nothing. I have had to figure it out my own self through experiences. And of course, along with some of the women on this lovely app. And I do want to add that the media knows the black community is dropping the ball in helping their children, their girls, navigate dating.
Exactly. This is why you have so many shows, reality TV shows, where you see black women acting like barbaric, animalistic baboons, fighting everybody, fighting over the littlest things. This is why you see them on videos twerking and popping half naked, going to award shows, performing songs that always talk about their JJ and how they can please a man or a woman. The media knows how to sell it to them because they know that they're not being protected. You women who believe that it's okay to have a family without a husband, you're a fool, for one. The next thing is you lack discernment. So this is another reason why, I'm going to put another woman on the screen, give me a second. This is another why these girls are in the positions that they are in. They are not able to teach their daughters about what type of man to choose because they haven't made the right choices in men themselves. They cannot always tell their children how to avoid certain games that Pookie plays because they themselves have fallen for the same games and manipulative tactics that Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook have ran upon them. So they don't know, or they are ashamed because it's hard to tell your daughter you shouldn't go out there and have all this intercourse with different men and get pregnant by different men over and over again when you have done it yourselves, because they're going to be looking at you like, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Now, I want you to see the consequence of sheltering your daughters and not equipping them. I can't say equipping them. Damn, I can't say the word. Preparing them. I can say it, y'all, for y'all start getting in the comments and messing with me. I just can't say it now. But when you don't prepare your daughters for the real world, they can tend to gravitate to promiscuity. And this woman is about to explain her experience with this. Let's get to it, Jack. Can you dig it?
I don't think parents realize the negative outcome that comes with sheltering your kids, holding them in, not giving them no freedom, and not letting them around nobody. That shelter child syndrome is real, especially in young girls. They be trying to protect the young girls from the world, not knowing when they get out in the world, they just gonna be hot in the ass. Soon as they get out in the world, boom, they're gone with the wind. Because that was me. I was sheltered. I had to go to church 3 times a week. I had to go to church on Friday and Sunday. I didn't have no free time at all to really just be a kid and be around other kids. So I started running away. And I turned into a hoe. I was outside getting fucked, because I never had no freedom, and that made me feel like nobody around me cared about me, on top of everything that I was going through in my household. So I yearned for love in all the wrong places. And when I say all the wrong places, I literally mean that I was 16, 17, going out with men that was 25 and 30, not knowing that these men are pedos.
Now, let's talk about this now. Some of this, she has to take some accountability for herself. But at the same time, we have to be logical about this. Children. You're still a child at 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't care what you say. You want to think you grown and stuff, but you can't pay bills and got no apartment in your name, no car in your name. You're still relying on your parents and other people to take care of you. You are a damn child. Let's get that out there first before you start saying I'm a grown woman at 13. Shut the hell up. Now, with that out the way, I want you to understand the brain of a child, the brain of a young daughter or young boy. They have not reached emotional maturity yet. Hell, they don't even know what they really want to be in life yet. So if you shelter these children, they don't really understand why you're doing it. They see you as someone that's trying to prevent them from having fun. They don't understand it. You understand it better than they do. Okay. Now, what I'm about to say is this right here. When you tell a daughter, a girl, stay away from them boys and stuff, like I said earlier, man, and they want to do it, it's because they have feelings like everyone else. There's something in them they want to explore. They want to be curious. They want to be loved. They see it as if you're trying to prevent them from being loved. This is where a hard conversation must take place between the parent and the child. This is where you have to equip and teach them why you're doing those things. Now, there are some daughters that are just rebellious and they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. They're going to sneak out and do whatever. But it won't be because you didn't try to prepare them. Some children, you got to let them go ahead and bump their head against the wall and don't pay for their consequences. What I mean is you should not be taking care of those kids, your children's kid, your grandkid, because they want to go out at night. They want to drop the kids off at mama's house while they go out and party. And they always complain about how hard it is to be a single mother. They chose that life. If you already raised that child, you don't have to raise another. You already did your job. It's their time to raise their children. So don't fall into that trap. But I'm keep going back to one thing. Education, knowledge. You have to teach these brides. You have to teach them. You have to teach them. Because there's a lot of men with predatory mindset, and I'm not talking about men who are pedos, but men like myself that look for weaknesses in a bride. Well, I'm not like that dude anymore. And take advantage of the bride and get out there and break that bride and get everything I can out that bride and have her hopelessly stuck on me. And still be messing with other women. And she'll know about it and she ain't going to do nothing about it because she's mine. Because I got her mind, Jack. If I have her mind, then she's mine. That's how I was, man. You know? So you have to be careful. Having a child is a big responsibility. They are the future of the black community. Or any community of color, whatever you may be. So you have to take parenthood very seriously. Okay? Some of these children, I know some right now come to mind. They never had a chance. The daddy wasn't nothing. Daddy in and out the lives, on drugs. Mama going to jail all the time. They was in Section 8. Everybody in the house in trouble or getting in trouble. They ain't have a chance. They grew up like that from age 5 to 10. They already have an old messed up dysfunctional mindset. They didn't have a chance, man. So this is what we have to worry about out there, bang. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's keep going.
But I wasn't thinking of it that way because I was so desperate for that love feeling and that attention feeling that I wasn't receiving at home. I was willing to get it from anywhere and everywhere. That's the worst thing you could do to your girls. And I'm not saying let these girls be hot in the ass and let them do whatever they want to do, but let them have freedom on a structured term. Because you don't want to take everything away from them, and when they get a little bit of wind, they just go out in the world and do whatever. Because my life could have easily turned worse. Easily. I ended up in so many fucked up predicaments and situations just yearning for love. And it just fucks me up when I see other people around me going through the shit that I went through.
Yeah. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video that was designed for educational purposes, Jack. Yeah. Well, anyway, man, you know how I get down. I got another video I got to drop, so I got to work on that right quick, man. I'll be getting at y'all. Hey, do me a favor, though. Go ahead and hit that like button for a player. Subscribe to this smooth, playeristic pimp type of game I be dropping on y'all asses. Can you dig it? And hit that notification bell and select the option that says all after you hit that notification bell so you'll be informed of all my new content. I'll give y'all a holler. Y'all take it easy now here.